Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining us. We got what is going to promise to be an absolute scorcher of a day today. I need to get up a little bit early. I need to get Bella's morning walk in. I've got a lot of things to do today, but I'm going to need to be mindful of the very hot temperatures today. It's going to be anywhere between about 105 to 110 degrees here in South Texas, but let's get started with our day with some breakfast, and then let's get on with some of the activities and kind of chores that we need to do today. You know, people who know me know that I love to cook, and a couple people have asked me, is it any harder to cook in your RV travel trailer as opposed to what it was when you were living in your house? Not really. You know, recipes don't have to be overly elaborate to be insanely good. Here, I'm just whipping up a really pretty quick breakfast. Breakfast is just not my most favorite meal of the day, and I struggle with eggs, but when eggs are not the star but the supplemental flavor, I can usually do pretty well with them. But I am trying to be a little bit more cognizant about, eating the number of meals I'm supposed to eat in one day as opposed to eating like one large meal at the end of a day. I'll try to remember to leave a link for these new pots and pans that I got for the RV. I think I just got them on Amazon, but I'll try to remember to leave a link for that in the description. I ended up getting rid of a really good set and kind of an expensive set of pots and pans where the nonstick just wasn't sticking even after just a few uses. I've really been pretty happy with these so far. The truck is a mess. I'm gonna try to correct some of that though today. Since it's Sunday, it means, well, it's Sunday and I live in very South Texas, where there is a very high Roman Catholic population here, and they're at church this morning. I'm not, but that's okay. But we're gonna go out and we're gonna get a couple of things done. I need to run some errands this morning, and I want to do it before everybody kind of gets out and about. Forgot some stuff at Walmart yesterday, and I need to go back and get some essentials. And I need to run to Lowe's. So for the Starlink project, I have a receiver hitch, and on the back hitch on the bumper, so I have a receiver hitch, but the spare tire is in with that right now, which I'm going to leave it that way, just obviously in case for when I need it. Having said that, the actual bumper itself is not far enough away from the RV to mount the receiver hitch that I got, and I knew that was going to be a problem, but I didn't really want it on the back hitch anyways. I wanted it on the front hitch, like the V in a sense. So, but that is probably at least 6 inches, of a piece of metal, and this will not go all the way through it to secure it, so that then so that receiver hitch can then take the mount for the flagpole to run Starlink up a little bit higher. Starlink works really well on the ground right where it's at now. I just don't necessarily want it on the ground. Obviously we're in storm season right now, not even hurricanes, but just some pretty wicked storms. I am a little bit worried about it kind of whipping around up there, but the other morning it was raining, just a good rain. It wasn't a storm, wasn't a tropical depression or anything. It was just, I woke up at 5:15 when my alarm went off, and I took Bella outside and I saw what I thought was just heat lightning in the distance. Nope, it wasn't heat lightning. Grabbed my app, and there is a wicked storm headed towards us, and it was going to be there in like 15 minutes. So I sat in the dinette, in the kitchen in the RV, and I'm eating my bowl of cereal, and I'm like watching these trees kind of be all kinds of whippy. They're palm trees, so they're skinny and kind of tall, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really like that. But the whole good news out of it was a few RVs down, another individual had essentially his satellite up on some sort of an extension. Not quite the setup that I was hoping to do, but his was up for a little while, and it was starting to do the lean. But even doing the lean, a pretty good storm, and it was still pretty stable. So I felt a little bit better about that. Obviously, for anything kind of wicked, we're gonna pull that down. And honestly, if it's that bad, we're gonna probably pull it inside and say, you know what, I'll just use cell phone data as I have it available, and it won't be a terribly big deal. But I got a couple of errands to run today, so I gotta get to Lowe's, I gotta get to Walmart to get some of the things that I forgot yesterday. And then I'll come back and probably play some video games and prepare for some stuff that's coming up this weekend, next week, work related, and round out the weekend. Thanks for sticking around. All right, we're going to avoid a copyright strike here because they even come after us really small channels with that. So just try to be respectful of the copyright. But they didn't have the galvanized screws that I had, and I had it in about a 4.5 inch, and I was hoping that the 6 inch would go all the way through. So I really had to do just a little bit of adjusting with this particular project. Ended up grabbing 4 of these, and I had the hex screws or the nuts to go along with it. We're going to take this back and see if it ended up working out. So that's a Lowe's done. Hopefully that'll work. I was a little bit nervous about the thread on the hex screws kind of going up as far as I needed it to for an 8-inch bolt. I did measure, but I'm still trying to, honestly, like this, I'm not great at this type of stuff. So I did measure, and I think that this will work, but the best way to find out is to kind of get home and see and save the receipt, I guess. I did need to get a little bit more caffeine when I was in there. My cup of coffee this morning just wasn't quite doing it, but we're about ready to hit Walmart. I need to get a couple more things that I forgot when I was running errands yesterday, and things for the RV. You have to buy special toilet paper for RV, and you know, things like special toilet bowl cleaner, because if you use home product toilet cleaner, it could corrode the pipes. That's fine, it's not a big deal. It's just not, it was just out of my norm. When I went to go, like when you move and you kind of get rid of a lot of things in the cleaning process from where you're moving from, but then you have to buy it all again when you move to the place, like you kind of diminish your stock while you're cleaning as you're moving, right, and packing up, but then you got to go buy brand new for your next house. Same thing here. It's just I forgot, it was out of my realm, and I forgot the special stuff. So I'm gonna go get that. So if you didn't know, there's actually like a special RV aisle in Walmart, in places like Walmart. You're not going to find this stuff in the regular cleaning section or the regular like grocery side of this particular store. So the RV toilet paper was easy. There's a specific brand for that. But then I needed to kind of go back and forth. I was trying to figure out this liquid cleaner. I have these pods that I use, but I was trying to figure out what would be better, the pods or this liquid cleaner. So we're going to get both and just give them both a try and see how it works. And I've been craving some carnitas tacos, so that's what's on the menu for tonight. Yeah, it isn't terribly expensive, these little side trips that I'm making. It's, you forget little things here and there, right? You forget a couple of things, and then you're realizing you need to go back out when you kind of had other things you wanted to get done. And that's okay, that's life. It's just I was hoping for a little bit, you know, the first week in the RV by myself, I guess I was hoping for a little bit more relaxation. But it'll be all right. I do have one more stop before I can go back to the RV. I've got some stuff floating around in the back of the truck that's kind of driving me nuts. And I think I'm just going to put it in the storage unit. I just don't know what else to do with it at the immediate moment. And I wanted to go and vacuum my truck. Just from moving, it's a mess. But I need to kind of clear out the section up front with some paperwork. Nothing terribly important, just things I was kind of collecting with some errand running over the last couple of days, and honestly the last couple of weeks. So I'm gonna get that sorted and cleared out and organized. I got some like toe straps or tie down straps down there I need to put back in the ram bin and do some tidying. And then I did wash the blanket that I put in the back of the truck for when Bella's in the truck. I did wash that yesterday when I was doing some laundry. So that's ready to kind of just be put back out. We're driving to San Antonio this coming weekend, and I want her to have a nice clean truck, so that she can get it all husky hairy again. But it's been driving me a little bit crazy just with the moving and putting everything in here. I just have I feel like I just need to tidy and organize, and so I'm gonna do a little bit of that today and see if I can get a couple of other projects done throughout the course of the day, but then not forget to remember to kind of just stop. I have a big week ahead of me at work. I have a big couple weeks ahead of me in the next couple weeks at work, and I need to take some time to make sure that I'm kind of like mentally resting and prepping for that too. I just feel like I've been going nonstop for a little bit, and I'm feeling it. Like, I'm feeling it in my mental clarity, and it'll be fine. It's just, you need to, when your body's telling you to slow down for a hot second, sometimes we listen, sometimes we don't. It's probably time that I do. So I found what I was looking for, and I got a couple things put in there that are now no longer rolling around in the back of the truck. My bike rack that goes into the hitch mount is still in the back of my truck, and that's fine, as are a couple of empty gas tanks, like gasoline tanks, and they're empty. I was wanting to keep those in the back of the truck. It's hurricane season, and I was wanting to keep those in the back of the truck, kind of keep an eye on the Gulf, and if something happens, starts to form in the Gulf, I can fill those up, because I was having a little bit of frustration thinking about, well, if there's a storm in the Gulf, our sticks and bricks are gone. My new house is our tiny house, essentially, our RV. And yes, in a massive pinch, I put everything I can in the truck. I have full coverage on the RV. But if I have multiple days notice, would it be worth hooking up and pulling out with the RV in tow? And I honestly don't know. I think that's going to entirely depend upon how much time we might have with the storm. But gas is a hot commodity, honestly, when anything forms in the Gulf. So a good rule of thumb, I live this far south, I live very close to the Gulf, I need to treat half of a tank like it's empty in my truck, and then just try to always make sure I have fuel in the truck, because things can form in the Gulf kind of just at the drop of a hat, and even tropical storms tropical depressions even do a lot of flood damage here in the valley. So a couple of empty gas tanks back there for when something forms in the Gulf, and then I can just put some gas in it. I think I want to try to get one of those truck organizers for like the far back of the truck, and I can just kind of put those empty things in their little compartments and kind of help keep a couple of things from rattling around so much. But what's back there is probably mostly going to be back there like semi-permanently. And again, it's just those two empty tanks and my bike hitch. I do have one of those things that goes over the back of your tailgate for the bikes. I actually prefer to use that. Dadiella prefers the bike hitch, but we just haven't had a chance to like trade it off yet, or give that back to her yet. So once we do that, then that bike rack will be gone, and then I'll just have my over the tailgate thing for my bikes, and we'll kind of go from there. But what's back there is either getting back to Dadiella in her truck, or is semi-permanent back there, and it isn't much. My heart bin of weights, it's a kind of a heavy-duty bin of some weights, is back there, or that I use those in the morning, kind of just kettlebell, dumbbells, kind of just do some of that on the patio out front of the RV, like the little patio area. We have a nice mat, nice outdoor carpet that's laid down, and I can do some body weight stuff on that, and that's gonna be back there because that's just the easiest place to store it right now. But I'll look and see if I can't find one of those back of the truck, just storage, compartmental storage type stuff, just to help keep it from rolling around a little bit. But I found what I was looking for, so that means today, and it's only 11 a.m., is a success. And it was kind of a load off my mind to, one, find what I was looking for work, and two, kind of just get a couple things put back in there so they weren't in the truck, as well as a couple of errands this morning. So I'm gonna go home, see if I can't get the bolts to work for the hitch for the Starlink, so I can kind of get that up and off the ground a little bit. And honestly, if that gets done, then today will be a rather productive day, and then I can try to sit down, stream a movie, or maybe even game a little bit just to wind down my brain, kind of get ready for the start of the next week. Home sweet home. I've enjoyed this particular RV park thus far. I've really enjoyed it. It's part of the Wilder, I guess, W-I-L-D-E-R RV resorts. I think they have several in Texas, maybe some in Florida as well. I don't know if they string all the way through some of the southern states on the Gulf. I feel like, I know they're in Texas and Florida. I feel like they might be involved, like they might have RV resorts in some of the other states, maybe like Louisiana, Mississippi, like along the Gulf, I feel like. I could be wrong on that though. But either way, I've enjoyed it thus far. I was trying to be really particular about the spot that I chose in terms of having enough space and being close enough to other people, but yet far enough away that we kind of have our own space, but yet close enough that somebody probably won't park in between us, type of thing. So I was being a little bit particular. Perhaps you saw that particular video where I was choosing the spot, and so far I've been happy with it. I got a chance to meet our next door neighbors. Not right next door, they're kind of like catty corner behind us. They have several spots, and he's the one that gave me the idea. He said, hey, if you go to the office and tell them you want to use the site next to you, $40 a month, and you can use it for storage. You know, you guys have 2 trucks, so you can park your trucks there. Hey, that's awesome, that's great, but that also then means that somebody's not going to come right next to us as they're trying to get away a little bit further away from somebody that's like catty corner that way. You know, so I really have enjoyed it thus far. I've been really happy with like just the park in general. There are a lot of people. You always see people out walking their dogs or riding their golf carts around. I feel a little bit out of place because I do not have a golf cart, and I thought I was going to be like the youngest person here by 10 years. You know, I thought it was gonna be like a 55 or older community, but it's not. But there are a couple of people that I would say are probably in their mid 40s as well, and not very many. Most of them are probably in their 70s or 80s. I think my neighbors are probably within their mid to late 50s or something like that. I don't know, but we've enjoyed it thus far. Not really sure what'll happen after this particular 6 months, but we've enjoyed it so far. I've appreciated downsizing. My anxiety went up a little bit when I went to the storage unit and saw like the furniture and such from the house. Stuff that, it's stuff we've already gone through. We know we're not going to get rid of. Probably not, anyways, depending upon how long we choose to do the RV life thing. And that kind of is dependent upon, what are we going to do next professionally? And, the answer to that is I don't know. And that's okay. But my anxiety goes up when I go to the storage unit. I can feel it. I have appreciated the downsizing. It doesn't make, some of the anxiety that you have about the house and where you're storing stuff go away. I've just appreciated, I think, being a little bit more intentional with what I do have in my immediate space. That's been important to me. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on this RV Chore Day video. If you like this kind of content, do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe. And until next time, let's be sure to live life outside of the work that we do.